Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the confusing world of corporate filings. And today we've got a report from Apollo Debt Solutions BDC, where it looks like they've been busy securing some serious cash. Stick around because we're about to dive into how they're raising a substantial amount of money and what that could mean for their future. Don't forget, if you love getting these clear, actionable insights from complex financial documents, make sure you subscribe and join our Discord community linked in the description below. So what's the big news? Well, Apollo Debt Solutions BDC, a company that essentially invests in debt, has just announced they've priced an offering of $400 million in notes. Think of notes like bonds. Companies issue them to borrow money and pay it back later with interest. This is a significant chunk of change. They're issuing these notes with a 5.875% interest rate, and they're due in 2030. That means they're borrowing this money for about 6 years. They're selling these notes in a private placement, which means they're not selling them to just anyone. They're selling them to big-time investors who are considered qualified institutional buyers, and to certain international investors too. This is a common way for companies to raise a lot of money quickly without the hassle of selling to the general public. Now, the big question is, what are they going to do with all this borrowed money? The filing states they plan to use the proceeds for general corporate purposes and to pay back existing debt. This could mean they're looking to strengthen their financial position, perhaps by paying off loans that have higher interest rates, or simply to have more cash on hand for future investments or unexpected expenses. It shows a move towards managing their financial structure and potentially setting themselves up for future growth or stability. It's important to note that these notes haven't been registered with the securities regulators in the US. This is typical for private placements and means they can only be bought and sold by specific types of investors who are already familiar with the risks involved. For the average person, this means you can't just go out and buy these notes directly through a normal brokerage account. It's a more exclusive club for sophisticated investors. Like many corporate filings, this report also includes a section that warns about forward-looking statements. Basically, they're saying that while they're sharing their plans and expectations for the future, things could change. They might use words like expect, intend, or anticipate. They're being upfront that actual results could be very different from what they're predicting. This is standard practice to protect themselves legally, but it's always good to remember that financial projections are just that, projections are illegally, but it's always good to remember that financial projections are just that, projections. So what's my take on this Apollo Debt Solutions BDC is clearly in a phase where they're actively managing their debt and raising capital. Raising $400 million is a substantial financial move. It indicates confidence in their ability to borrow at a reasonable rate, especially with that 5.875% interest on the notes due 2030. The fact that they're using some of this money to repay existing debt suggests they're focused on optimizing their financial health and potentially reducing their interest expenses. This could strengthen their balance sheet and give them more flexibility. However, it's also a reminder that they operate in a business that relies heavily on debt and credit markets. Their success is tied to their ability to manage these financial instruments effectively and to ensure they can meet their repayment obligations. While this filing doesn't give us granular financial tables to pore over like a quarterly earnings report, this 8K focuses on a specific event, a major financing. It's a positive signal that they can access significant funding, but it's crucial to remember this is about borrowing money, not directly about their operational profits or losses, which we'd see in other filings. The key takeaway here is that Apollo Debt Solutions BDC is making a strategic financial move to secure a large amount of capital. They're using it to manage their existing financial structure, and that generally points to a company trying to become more financially sound. We'll want to keep an eye on their future filings to see how this capital infusion impacts their overall performance and financial health. Alright, that's our quick decode of Apollo Debt Solutions BDC's latest news. What's your take on this major borrowing move? Are they setting themselves up for success or just taking on more debt? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more straight-talking financial analysis. And don't forget to join our awesome Discord community linked in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.